What's going on, everybody? This is Joe. We are back. I'm so excited. We are back for Oath of the Gatewatch. It is time to open some pre-release kits. Today is the pre-release. We picked up 2 kits for ourselves. We're going to get into opening them. I'll probably have an annotation up. It's probably already been up. If you guys want to check out our philosophy on pack openings and why we open them the way we do, I'm not going to explain them here so we can get right into it, but just so you know why we do the things that we do and how we open the packs, you can see that in one of my Driving to the Draft episodes. For now, let's just get right into it. That Driving to the Draft episode also explains to you my history with Magic the Gathering so that you know who I am and why I'm opening these cards. These Hedron boxes are the same as they were last time. Pretty awesome. The separator that they have, Take the Oath, Retake the World, is the 4 planeswalkers on a floating massive land. If you've seen the rest of the art from this set, they're shooting their different powers up at Kozilek and Ulamog, but that's not here, that's just this. So before we get into the promo foil card, let's see what our D20 is. We have a white D20. That is the symbol, Oath of the Gatewatch. That is a gigantic symbol for the 20. I don't know that I've ever seen them that big before. It does perfectly fit into the triangle shape of the D20, so that's really cool. If you guys have seen the other videos on our channel, you'll know why D20s matter to us. I just rolled a 3. That seems about right for how I play role-playing games. So, we have that. We have this little rules insert, which has the same art on it. So we'll toss that to the side. And without further ado, our promo foil is Deceiver of Form. It's an Eldrazi. It's got the stamp on there for the date of the pre-release. Again, Eldrazi's, this is one of the Kozilek Eldrazi you can see based on the little spiky things. They call them crowns, I think, on their heads. So this is one of the Kozilek Eldrazi. But here it is, an 8/8 Eldrazi promo foil. And it's a foil rare. We're going to get right into these pack openings. We have 4 Oath of the Gatewatch packs along with 2 Battle for Zendikar packs. I'm going to start with the Battle for Zendikar ones because we've opened a bunch of those. So let's see what we get out of here. Obviously, looking for expeditions out of all 6 of these because expeditions would be great, but anything would be awesome. New set. So here we go. Culling Drone, we'll go through these pretty quickly because you guys have seen a lot of these. Seek the Wilds, Fortified Rampart, Belligerent Whiptail, Demon's Grasp, Looming Spires, Fertile Thicket, Snapping Gnarlid, Spell Shrivel, Complete Disregard, Skitterskin is our first uncommon, Ulamog's Nullifier is the second, Encircling Fissure is the third. Our rare or mythic out of this pack is a Felidar Sovereign. Not an amazing card, but it's there. Felidar Sovereign, that's pretty cool. We have a full art forest. Full art lands are fantastic. And a core ally token. So leave that off to the side. Nothing incredible from Battle for Zendikar so far, but let's see what we get out of pack 2. Kiora on the front of this pack. If I can open this puppy up. We opened a lot of Battle for Zendikar, so if you didn't see that on our channel, definitely go check that out. We got some real good stuff. Voracious Null, Reclaiming Vines, Mist Intruder, Myers Malice, Stonehaven Medic, Volcanic Upheaval, Courier Griffin, Valakut Predator, Shadow Glider, Lifespring Druid, Core Entanglers is the first uncommon. That card's pretty awesome. Tajuru Warcaller, speaking of awesome cards, that's our second uncommon. Breaker of Armies is the third, just 3 really good uncommons. Our rare or mythic is a Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, also not a good card. I do appreciate the story behind it. You've got Emrakul, Kozilek, and Ulamog depicted as humanoid gods, worshipped by some of the merfolk on Zendikar. You have a full art swamp and an Eldrazi Scion token. So let's go ahead and leave those on the side. And let's do it, guys. We're going to break into our first Oath of the Gatewatch pack. This one has Chandra taking her oath on the front. Let's see what we get inside. First Oath of the Gatewatch product. Let's see what we get. We have a Core Scythe Master. Comparative Analysis. Eldrazi Aggressor. Still love the Devoid going from red down to colorless. It always looks better I've found with red and blue as opposed to black and green. It's just a better contrast. Zulaport Chain Mage. That card looks awesome. I love the art of him with all of the chains just flying off in different directions. It looks like he just landed in that 3-point stance, so that looks really awesome. Elemental Uprising. The colors on this card are fantastic. The art's fantastic. It's like a crab earth creature attacking that tiny little Eldrazi, so that's awesome. We have a Sky Scourer. That's weird to say, but it's a Sky Scourer. We have a Wastes. So here's our first Wastes art. This is Kozilek's Wastes, based on the patterns that you see here. We will probably see Ulamogs later. I do not like that these basic lands take up a common slot. I think they could have just made another common that would have been better. I'm sure we're going to come across a pack where both Wastes are in one pack because each art counts as a different common, so they don't count it as doubles. Here's the Waste. I love the art, and it's a full art basic land, so that's really cool, but I don't like the fact that it's in a common slot, if you care what I think at all. Jawar Isle Avenger is the next card, so you have this Sphinx just flying through the Eldrazi's tentacles to presumably attack it, and you can tell that by the flavor text. Though solitary by nature, the Sphinxes did not hesitate to join in the fight against the Eldrazi. So there you go. Something we didn't see in Battle for Zendikar were Sphinxes fighting, but now we do in this one. We have Warden of Geometries, because apparently geometry is something that is universal. So even in the world of Zendikar, they are talking about geometry. So little kids get to feel like they're at school while playing Magic. Stalking Drone. This card is disgusting. A lot of the Ulamog creatures, or the Eldrazi drones, obviously, as this creature type is, they have a lot of the crown pieces like sticking out of them, but they also have eyes in weird and disgusting places. So this one's got an eye on its shoulder, as you can see, and really none up by what we would think of as its face. Pyromancer's Assault is our first uncommon. That looks really cool. Malakir Soothsayer, also a good looking card. Storm Chaser Mage. This is, I think, one of the best uncommons in the set, if not the best uncommon in the set, at least from what I've seen. I haven't seen every card in the set yet. I have, but I don't fully remember them, but this is definitely one of my favorites. And our first rare or mythic out of Oath of the Gatewatch is Goblin Dark Dwellers. So this card, as far as I remember, in an alternate art, is the Buy a Box promo, so we'll be getting a couple of those. Stay tuned for our booster box openings when the set releases. You'll be able to see those. But we have Goblin Dark Dwellers. This card is actually pretty good. Sometimes the Buy a Box promos are just okay. I think this one's pretty good. So we have that. We have a Full Art Swamp. The Full Art cards are back, so we do have those. And we have an Elemental token, so one of the new tokens from the set. As I mentioned, I know we're going through these a little bit slower than we usually do. We have a Nissa pack next, but that's because it's the first time we're opening stuff from the set. So this might be some people's first experiences looking at the cards. So please enjoy looking at the art, listening to the stories, or reading some of the flavor text. So let's get into this pack. Abstruse Interference, another crazy word to have to try to pronounce, but Abstruse Interference, the art on that card is fantastic as well. We have Akum Flame Seeker. Searing Light, again another card with an Eldrazi on it that is super colorful, despite the fact that Eldrazi are devoid of color. And again, Searing Light, you can see the Eldrazi putting its hand into a lit area, presumably to try to absorb some of the life from that land, and getting burned out, which is awesome. Corpse Churn, which is just a great name. It sounds badass. The art's okay, but the name is really cool, of Corpse Churn. Natural State. This card, is your typical destroy target artifact or enchantment in green for limited, but the art is awesome. I appreciate it. It's less than naturalized, which is awesome, but it is limited to mana cost 3 or less, so that's why. Kozilek's Translator. This card is sick. Talking about color, it's called Kozilek's Translator because it's one of Kozilek's brood, which is why it's got the crown on it, like I mentioned before. But as it's walking through the land, it is translating the land into the distorted colors that Kozilek is famous for. And again, a devoid card creating all of those colors, which is awesome. So I love that. It's otherwise a seemingly drained of color card, and then it just is producing all of that color. So there you go. I like that a lot. Kozilek's Pathfinder. So you can't necessarily see it very well, but this is another one of Kozilek's brood that is kind of prismatic almost, with its different colors kind of all over its body and shining based on its distortion. And again, you kind of see that in the Wastes cards from Kozilek's Wastes as well. Isolation Zone. So you've got Hedrons pointing at this, what looks like one of the vampires. We've got Scion Summoner, so another colorful Eldrazi. This one is in a very weird pose. I think Amy was commenting when we saw this art a couple of days ago that it looks like he's dancing. We talked about that with Stasis Snare in Battle for Zendikar, but now here in Oath of the Gatewatch, you still have dancing Eldrazi, and this guy's just got his little finger up, wagging it as he's kind of leaning back and dancing around. So there you go, more dancing Eldrazi. We have the Birthing Hulk is our first uncommon. This card looks sick. It's got these two little hands, which I think, if I remember correctly, Amy thought was disgusting looking. That he had two little hands coming out of his stomach. He's got armor on, and again, what I find gross is the eye on his shoulder and none up by his face. So there you go, Birthing Hulk. That card looks really awesome. Walker of the Wastes, just another great Eldrazi art. I feel like after a while I should probably just talk about the art that I don't like as opposed to the art that I do like, because I think in this set especially they really stepped up the art a lot. I think a lot of them look really good, and I really appreciate the fact that inside of here it's see-through and you can see the rest of the art kind of poking through the text box, which is just awesome detail that they're just adding to the cards and making it that much better. So that's our Walker of the Wastes uncommon. We have Unity of Purpose is our third uncommon. Actually, you know what? Art is just okay on this one. So there you go, in my opinion, of course. So there you go, Unity of Purpose. Our rare or mythic in this pack is the Mythic of Kalitas, Trader of Get. I recently found out that Kalitas was in the original Zendikar block as well as a different card, as a worse card. This card is sick. I love it. It's no Drana, but it is an awesome card. It looks good. It's a mythic. It's our first mythic out of our second pack, so I'm very pleased. There you go. Kalitas, Trader of Get. I feel like there are a couple of cards back here, too many, which means we may have a foil. We do, and it is a foil full art island. What a sick pack. So a foil full art island, not even just a foil full art basic land, which would be worth a lot of money, but a foil full art island, which is worth even more because it is an island. This is what I like to call the Sinkhole Island. As does happen frequently, the basic lands in the second set of a block are not new art. In fact, if you look, it is still the set symbol from Battle for Zendikar. So it is in the Oath of the Gatewatch packs, but it is Battle for Zendikar lands. But it's a foil full art land, which is fantastic, in a pack where we got a mythic as well. So then a regular full art island, non-foil, and a plant token. So that, again, sick pack. We'll leave that stuff on the side. We've got two more packs left of Oath of the Gatewatch. We've got a Jace pack and another Chandra pack. Let's open the Jace pack first. I find it interesting that out of all of the planeswalkers that found themselves on Zendikar this time around, Jace is the only one that does not get his own planeswalker card. He gets an Oath of Jace card, but not his own planeswalker card. You have an Ancient Crab. I was pointing out to Amy This is super sad. The flavor text on this card, it's just a 1/5 creature for 3, but the flavor text says, after the fall of Seagate and the draining of the Halimar Basin, the crab set off to find a new home. Pretty sad. And it's got like a bunch of random shells on its back. You can tell it kind of looks like it's just frantically grabbing stuff and just running away. So, seems kind of sad. Maw of Kozilek. If you want an example of a card that is very colorful, even though it's an Eldrazi, look at any of Kozilek's brood, really, but this one especially. It's got a lot of pinks and reds and oranges and blues and greens, and it's a lot of really good contrast, especially with the blue and the brownish gray in the background. So I like the colors a lot on that card. Mighty Leap, a reprint, interesting art, but yeah, Mighty Leap, we've seen it many, many times, so I'm just going to move on. Kozilek's Shrieker. This is sick. Basically, if you guys like old school X-Men and you're aware of the X-Men Banshee, these Eldrazi basically do what Banshee did, and that is scream and create shockwaves that destroy things. So there you go, Kozilek's Shrieker. There's a couple of cards that depict Eldrazi doing that. Excuse me, I'm like losing my voice. We have a Netcaster Spider. Witness the End. Look at that. So you've got little people standing over here, and then you've got Ulamog and Kozilek in the background. Witness the End. Ulamog stood before us at Seagate, ready to succumb, and then Kozilek arose. Whatever hope I had for our world died. So this depicts kind of the end of Battle for Zendikar and the beginning of Oath of the Gatewatch, when they had captured Ulamog inside of the Hedron prison, Hedron alignment. I forget the exact name of the card, but Aligned Hedron Network was the name of the card. And it trapped Ulamog inside, and then Obnixilis became an asshole and stole the power from that ring, gained the power for himself. The ring collapsed, Ulamog was freed, and then Obnixilis called up Kozilek. So now, in this set, there are 2 Eldrazi Titans trying to destroy the plane. Ulamog and Kozilek. We do not know where Emrakul is. I have some theories, which I've heard online, which would be awesome, but he's not here. But we still have 2 Eldrazi Titans to deal with between 4 or 5 Planeswalkers. Goblin Freerunner. Amy and I were commenting on the fact that the goblins who have these gigantic chins, we're going to say are from the Jay Leno clan of goblins, because they just have massive chins. And there are some that are more exaggerated than this guy. This guy is actually probably a child in comparison to the other ones, because the other ones have really big chins. So there you go. Big chinned Goblin Freerunner. The Holdout Settlement. This card just looks really cool. You've got people camped out on top of this Hedron and down here in the shadow of this Hedron, kind of surrounded by devastation by Ulamog and his brood. Blinding Drone. Once again, lots of color on a card that is devoid as it blinds you. Kozilek's Pathfinder. We saw one of these before, so this is another one. Prophet of Distortion is our first uncommon. So there you go. Chitinous Cloak. Such a, again, weird words in this set. And the flavor text on this card is cool too. If we're going to survive, we have to use every tool at our disposal, especially the disgusting ones. And basically this human is just putting on what looks like a human. It could be an elf, I can't quite tell. But they've put on armor that is the exoskeleton of either a dead bug or a dead Eldrazi. I can't quite tell, but it's pretty disgusting. So there you go. Our third uncommon is Void Shatter. So this is us witnessing an Eldrazi actually countering a spell, which is kind of interesting. I don't know that they did that in the last set in the art, but here you go. Our rare or mythic out of our second to last pack is Munda's Vanguard. I don't know too much about this card. The art's just okay, so I don't have too much to talk about, but here you go. A Munda's Vanguard rare. We have, a full art Plains and a core ally token. So again, another token from Battle for Zendikar, even though it was an Oath of the Gatewatch pack. But we've got that. And we are on to our last pack of this pre-release kit. Stay tuned. We have another pre-release kit to open now in this recording session, if we're going to go a little behind the scenes, and then more will come out shortly when we get them throughout the rest of the weekend. Alpha Protector. Mighty Leap again. Consuming Sinkhole. So again, red going down into colorless looks really good. That card looks sick with that sinkhole, what looks like pulling that Eldrazi into it. And it looks like kind of an elemental, it looks like a living land kind of pulling it in. But yeah, that looks really cool. Natural State again, we talked about that already. Witness the End, we talked about that as well. Netcaster Spider, this is the pack of duplicates. We have a Seer's Lantern, so this is the first time we've seen this one. That looks really cool. It's an okay card, but it enables you to get your colorless mana if you don't have wastes, which thankfully, and we'll see in these next couple of cards, but thankfully we've only had one wastes, and while it's a cool card, I don't want a lot of them. So yeah, this enables you to get colorless mana. So Seer's Lantern. Tajuru Path Warden. So this is art that Amy and I had seen earlier that we did not think was in the set on any card, but it is, so I was mistaken on that. We have Expedition Raptor. That looks pretty awesome. So a lot of allies in this set are flying around on things, or in this block are flying around on things. We had the core kite sails and the manta riders, and now we have raptors flying around as well. Seed Guardian is our first uncommon. I like to call this card the Man-Thing Elemental, because I feel like it looks exactly like Man-Thing from Marvel. Tranquil Expanse, one of our the first one that we've seen of this uncommon set of lands. And Visions of Brutality. That guy looks pissed. That card, the art looks sick. It just looks awesome. And our last rare or mythic out of this pre-release kit is Ailey Eternal Pilgrim. Not bad at all. I've seen a lot about this card. It is really cheap. It's a legendary creature, so it's definitely viable as your commander or for tiny leaders, if that's still a thing. But yeah, it looks like a really interesting card. So that's a really nice rare to have gotten. We have another foil full art basic land, because why the hell not? That's so cool. That card looks fantastic in foil. I'm going to shake that for you guys so you can see it a little bit better, but that card looks great in foil. I like the colors in it a lot, and it looks fantastic. But a second foil full art basic land in one pre-release kit is awesome. We have a full art swamp and a plant token. So guys, I'm going to quickly go over some of the stuff that we got here. Stay tuned to the channel. I'm sure I'll pop up some annotations there for you all to take a look at what we have coming out soon. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming on this channel, so definitely check it out. Subscribe down below. From our Battle for Zendikar stuff, because it was less exciting, we got Shrine of the Forsaken Gods and a Felidar Sovereign. You guys have seen that stuff on our channel already. We got the Deceiver of Form as our foil promo for the pre-release. We got 2 foil full art basic lands in this island and plains, which is fantastic. We got Ailey Eternal Pilgrim, which you guys just saw, Munda's Vanguard, the Goblin Dark Dwellers, the Wastes. I set it aside, it's not one of the rares, but we did get 1 Waste out of all of the packs that we opened. And my opinion of the MVP, our first mythic of the set, Kalidas, Trader of Get. So I will leave you looking at that. I will leave you looking at our 2 foil full art basic lands. Guys, check out the rest of the videos on the channel. Stay tuned, more stuff is coming. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out our Facebook and Twitter pages, they're down in the description. Check out the other videos on our channel. As I said, subscribe down below. And in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, guys.